Jason Carter be available for you tomorrow night?
Probable. Now, if he does play, I will limit his minutes. To how many, I don't know yet. I got to talk with Doc and with Dave Fluker, but he has been practicing since for a little bit less than a week. He started going full go on Sunday, so that was his first day of going live kind of contact practice. And from what I know right now, his back was fine. Had no issues with it. Had no issues up until right now here at 2:30 p.m. here on Monday. So I anticipate that he's going to play. In how many minutes, I don't know yet.
And do you have any kind of an update on Kiki? I know we see him walking around. He's still in a walking boot. So
yeah, Kiki's still in his walking boot right now, still rehabbing his foot. It's I don't know. Hopefully he'll be back sooner rather than later. I anticipate it. Hopefully it could be next week. In the next 2 weeks, I think he'll be back.
Travis, with a team like Jacksonville, what's it like to prepare for them when they haven't played a game yet, and you're kind of flying a little bit blind as you head into the season?
The first game to 2 games always kind of like that in a way. It's hard to get film. Through you have these contracts. So when you sign a contract with, like, we played Indianapolis, right? The game was not televised. Well, we don't give it out, obviously, and Indianapolis doesn't give that out either. It's in contract that they can. So it's hard to get film on a team like Jacksonville. You got to rely a little bit on what they did last year. And you look at the returners that they have. They have some returning players. They also have a lot of new guys, which makes it even more challenging. And it's like I told our guys, we're going to do as good of a job as we can to prepare them from what we saw that they did last season. And then also, it's going to be more about us, though. It's going to be about our standard, our defensive system, our offensive system. And they know how to guard every single action that there is in basketball. So we have a very systematic way how we defend. So it's going to be more about us rather than Jacksonville.
Have you made any decisions about redshirting any freshmen?
I have not yet. I am going to sit down here. Our staff's been talking about it. We have a really talented group of freshmen. Obviously, I think we have a lot of depth this year, Shannon. Again, I look back at the previous kind of years that I've been here, whether it was Jason Love. I think Jason Love played 76 minutes, I believe, as a freshman. And man, I wish we could have had him one more year. Same thing with James Farr. James Farr barely played when he was a freshman. He became a great player when he was a senior year. We would imagine if he'd had one more year. And same could be said for a guy like Sean O'Mara. Sean got a heck of a lot better his junior and senior years. Here at Xavier, he played a very limited role his freshman and sophomore years, and sometimes you got to look with a little bit of vision, and especially with front court guys. I think it takes those guys a little bit longer, just with the physicality piece, than maybe it does necessarily a guard. So we're definitely considering it. Obviously, we have up until 7 p.m. tomorrow. We could go past that, as long as the guy doesn't play. But it can do wonders for a guy, and so we're definitely considering it heavily.
Are you considering it for one person or multiple people?
Not just one, I think multiple at this point, along the front line. So we're just trying to figure out that piece, and obviously, a big piece of the puzzle is Jason's health, and having him back obviously really helps our team. So I think we're going to have to make a decision for what's best for that individuals, for those certain individuals, or and for the team as well.
Is Daniel still in the concussion protocol?
He is. Yeah, he's still in the concussion protocol. The protocols, they again, you got to take it very seriously. He got hit in the head with a ball, and it was kind of an unfortunate accident. It was not on purpose or anything like that. It just kind of happened in practice, hit him in the wrong place, right on your head, and so yeah, he's still under protocol. Hopefully, he'll get back sooner rather than later.
One of the things that you brought up after the exhibition game with Indianapolis was the fact, I think that the way you phrased it was they were packing it in probably as much as anyone you've seen do that to you guys. Is that kind of the expectation of how teams are going to approach you guys defensively?
It's interesting. We had we have a bunch of NBA scouts come to practices and stuff, and the guy came up to me and said, man, because we shot it really well. And we shot it much better in practice than we have against Indianapolis. And he said, God dang, I saw your guys box score against you, Indy. And then I watched it today. It looked like Yeah, I didn't see the game, he said, but man, you guys look like you're a lot different team than what the stat sheet kind of showed. And I think that's how it is, Adam. I think our guys got to play loose, got to take the right shots. And we're definitely going to be an inside-outside team, whether it's driving, whether it's posting, offensive rebounding. We got to be a lot better than we were against Indianapolis on the offensive glass. But then again, if that produces a wide open rhythm three, then we're going to take that shot. And Najee's shooting it much better than he did last year. His percentage last year was in the 20s. It was either 27 or 29, and he's much better than that. And part of it is the shot selection piece, and then part of it is just the rhythm piece and confidence. Bryce Moore can make shots. Quentin was 1 for 5, I believe, against UIndy, but he shot the ball much better this preseason and in practice. Damir can make shots. And we have guys. Jason Carter, having him back is going to be really nice. He can make shots. I don't know. I think it depends on the team. What their game plan is going to be. But our know is if our guys, if we get an open rhythm three, then we got to be able to take it, shoot with confidence.
I was wondering, maybe you can just finish this. Like, if Xavier gets a win tomorrow night,
I think there's a lot of ifs to that, right? I would love to see us be under 11 turnovers tomorrow, and I would also just love to see us again play hard on the defensive end, execute our defensive system. If we do those two things, I think we win the game. But obviously, our standard's higher than that. It's all about not just winning the game. It's about playing to our standard. We want to take care of the ball. We want to see us grow in the execution piece on the offensive end of the floor. I thought we really shared the ball against Indianapolis, but I didn't think our execution was quite there yet, and it's early. Just with our set plays, playing inside, outside all the time when you go back and watch. And then on the defensive end, I think we've been pretty dang good executing our defensive system and playing really hard. We're way ahead of where we usually are at this point in the year.
Travis, their coach has been there, I guess it's his 6th year. Do you know this guy, and what kind of style has he played in the past?
Yeah, Tony Jassic, he's a great guy. He used to coach at IPFW in Indiana before he went to Jacksonville, so I've known him for quite some time. He's a great guy, great coach. They're going to muck it up a little bit defensively. They will zone. They will go a little bit of tempo zone press. They will pack it in their half-court man defense. I would anticipate them going underneath a lot of ball screens. It's how they play ball screens. They're going to try to keep it really tight. And then I think on the offensive end, you can anticipate like a lot of ball screens. They're going to set 1 million of them, sidelines, middles. They try to create a lot of confusion with that. But they're going to be very well coached. He does a great job. And I know he's really, really excited about his team this year.
So he can't sit in one defense against you guys. He's going to
I
give
think,
you recognition.
Yeah, we're preparing for multiple defenses and changing defenses, whether it's 2-3 zone, whether that's man-to-man, whether that's a triangle and 2, which he's shown in the past as well. Like he'll junk it up a little bit defensively.
What other benchmark statistically do you have? I mean, the 11 turnovers still, if you're going to play up tempo, 11 is still a good number though?
Yeah, it's an aggressive number, Andy, but I think, we always try to, it's about your turnover percentage more, like if people want to talk because more possessions in a game because you're playing a little bit faster. If I use 11 for our guys so it kind of clicks with if I start using a turnover percentage with our guys start looking at me like I got 10 heads. So I just give them a number about roughly where we will be. Possessions, and again, it depends upon who we play, our opponent, right? About the number of possessions in a game, but that way I can update them every time out. Hey, this is where we're at turnover-wise. We're at 2. We're right on pace. We're doing a great job. Or hey, we got way too many, right? And those guys know that number, and that number doesn't change game to game for them. But if you talk about other numbers, we want to be 75% on the defensive glass. That put us as a top 20 defensive rebounding team in the country. We want to be 34% on the offensive glass, which would put us top 15 in the country on the offensive glass. And then our DER, again, everybody computes it in different ways. It's funny, you got Ken Palm who computes it one way. When Sean Miller first started a long time ago here at Xavier, he computed it a much different way. But according to Ken Palm, we want to be about 0.85, and if DER, which is points per possession. And if we do that, then we'll be a top 25 defensive team in the country. And to this point, we're about 0.75. So we've been doing a great job on the defensive end.
What about the free throws? Kip used to say, I want my team to make more free throws than the other team.
Yeah.
attempts. Is that possible, or is that a?
Well, it wasn't when we shot him against UIndy, right?
No.
I could have kicked a few in more than we made. But it's I mean, our goal for our team is to make more free throws than our opponent attempts. And we have to be aggressive driving the ball on the glass, offensive glass. We got to be aggressive in transition, playing downhill. We got to get the ball inside of Tyreek, Zach, and all of our big guys, right? And then we'll create a lot of fouls, right? And we got to be the one that's living at the line. And our guys are much, much better free throw shooters than they showed against UIndy. Our guys shoot 100 free throws every single day. And I get the numbers, like Tyreek was 95 for 100 the other day. And obviously, you always try to think, sometimes people go mental, with their free throws. You can't let one miss turn into two. You gotta be tougher mentally than that, and you gotta be able to move on. But we gotta be able to live the line, especially with the team that we have and the personnel that we have.
Can you live with just breaking even from 3-point range, especially in the league?
Yeah, I hope that our 3-point field goal percentage defense is where we want it to be, and that's 31%. And we're fully capable of doing that. And you look at the length that we have. We can guard ball screens, Andy, in a lot of different ways. We can hard hedge it. We can go more like a soft hedge, what we call drop coverage, or we can switch ball screens. And when you have the versatility to do that, depending upon what that team gets out of their pick and rolls, you can really limit threes. And as long as your guys aren't falling asleep off the ball, their motor can't turn off. And for us last year, I thought we were stuck a little bit more initially early on in the year with our ball screen defense because of our personnel. And then I also thought, our guys fell asleep a lot too much, way too much off the ball. And I think we've kind of shored that stuff up so far, and you want to keep on developing those habits every single day. But so far, so good as far as defending the three. And then, again, we want to be able to make at least 33% of your shots. The way I always break it down with 3 points, we want to be a 1.0 OER, right? So if you make 33% of your threes, Andy, that's 1 out of 3. That's 1 out of 3. So that gives you 1 point per possession. And if we're 50% from the field, then you're getting 1 point per possession. And the same thing from the free throw line. As bad as it sounds, shooting 50% from the free throw line isn't the end of the world. Obviously, we want to be 75 plus, but again, you get 1 point per possession, which would be a really good number.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was just curious, we've talked a lot about kills this year. How long have you guys been tracking that? Was that something that predated your time here, or was that something that you guys started tracking once you got here?
That would have been in Chris Mack's first year. We started tracking kills. We got the idea from Virginia, Tony Bennett. We had heard, because obviously they're a pack line defensive team, and we were talking with their staff, and they said, hey, we do this thing, and it's really good, you guys should look at doing. And we thought it was a heck of an idea. It gives your guys something to work towards during the game, right? Rather than just thinking of it as a 40-minute game, we try to break the game down into 10 4-minute wars, and then where are we at kills-wise? How many stops are we on? So I give them that update every single time we have a timeout, exactly where we are. It kind of becomes a game within the game, for our guys. And if we get 7 kills, we've won 95 or 98% of our games since we've been here as Xavier.
Last thing, do we know when young Anderson's going to make his Centos debut?
Oh, man. He's in hibernation right now.
Oh, yeah.
He may come to the radio show tonight. We'll see. Sometimes that's that hour, Adam. And if you don't have kids, that's the tough one. It's that evening. I think he is going to make his appearance tonight. I don't know about the game. He's definitely going to Charleston, and we're going to take him down there. That'll probably be his first time, though. It'll be his first game experience being in Charleston.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.